Morning, guys. It is Wednesday, July 14th, and we are on chapter 54. Not chapter 54, page 54, chapter 2. Sorry, it's been a while. It's been busy. Okay. The editor shifted in his chair. His face showed anger and surprise. Leave now, or my revisers will devour you. Puck shrugged. I've been eaten before. It's no big deal. Daphne pulled Puck and Sabrina towards the doorway. They and the revisers had just stepped through. She opened it and faced a terrible wind, layered with heat and humidity, and smelled like something untamed and dangerous. You are making a terrible mistake, the editor shouted over the sound of the wind. If I had a nickel for every time a bad guy told me that, I'd be a rich detective, Daphne said. She pushed everyone through, and suddenly there was a stomach-dropping moment, and the editor and his creepy pets were gone. Sabrina stood on a large flat rock beneath an inky night sky. The air was hot and humid and heavy with the musk of wild creatures. Jungle trees dipped down overhead, and the full moon's light lit up the ground. In her hand was a torch, which she held above her head. Its light revealed savage beasts around her. A pack of wolves, each held its haunches high, but their eyes were on the ground and many were trembling in fear. The torch also illuminated the dirty loincloth that barely covered her. Thou art the master, a voice said from beyond the trees above her head. It was smooth and serious, and when she looked up, she realized its owner was a black panther, nestled in the branches. Save Akela from the death. He was ever your friend. Can you guys guess what book we're in? Terrified, Sabrina screamed and stumbled backward. When the panther did not pounce, she tried to calm herself. She told herself over and over again, if this was a real story, she's in a real story, but maybe they're not the same, the creatures, maybe they're not the same man-eating real-life versions. At least she hoped they weren't. The fact that the panther was talking boded well, too. Most of talking animals in Fairyport Landing weren't savage. Anything but savage. Annoying, maybe? Yeah, but not bloodthirsty. Still, no sign of Daphne or Puck. Perhaps they had been the appetizers, and she was going to be the main course. Daphne, Puck, I really could use some help here. Oh, an old gray wolf stood nearby, its head bowed in obedience. When she spoke, she looked up in confusion. What did the man cub say? I have no idea, another said. Could the man cub repeat what he just said? Man cub, Sabrina said, confused. Then a figure on hands and knees crawled towards her. It was Daphne, and she was giggling. We're in the Jungle Book. Sabrina had not read the Jungle Book. Granny Relda had told her its main character, Mowgli, was a good kid, so she flipped through the book quickly, moved on to the next. Looking back, that hadn't been the best strategy. I'm a wolf, Daphne said, letting out a goofy howl at the silver moon. It sounded less like a wolf and more like a wounded house cat. Guess who you are? You're Mowgli. Sabrina searched her memory for facts about Mowgli. He was a boy from India. Sorry, I lost my place, guys. He had a friend that was a sloth bear, and another was a panther. She seemed to recall there was something else about a tiger, but she couldn't remember anything specific. Was the tiger really annoying and bouncing around a lot? No, that's another story. You guys know that story, right? Pooh Bear. Where's Puck? Said Sabrina. Daphne shrugged as she got to her feet. He's around here somewhere. Sabrina frowned and studied the wolf pack nervously. Any idea what we're supposed to do before we're turned into dog food? Pardon me, one of the wolves cried. We're not dogs, we're wolves. Proud ones at that, another shouted. Just then, a huge animal lumbered onto the rock. It was orange and white and all muscle. Sabrina nearly dropped her torch in fright, and she realized it was a Bengal tiger. This particular animal hobbled on a lame foot, but that did nothing to distract it. from its menacing presence. "Enough!" it roared. "This is not how things went. You are supposed to grant Aquila a pardon from the death and then accept your banishment from the pack and the council. Then you're supposed to attack some of the wolves with your torch and attack me. You must stick to what happened or the revisers will come. Follow the original events or I will kill you where you stand, man cub." First, I'm not a man cub. If anything, I'm a woman cub. Secondly, I don't know the story well enough to follow, so cut me a break. "Perhaps I should just cut you," Shere Khan said, flashing his claws on his good paw. A figure dropped out of the sky and landed between the girls and the tiger. "Keep your paws off my fiancé, you flea-ridden stray," Puck shouted. "By the lock that freed me," the panther cried. "Who are you?" Puck put his hands on his hips and puffed out his chest. "I am the Trickster King, leader of the lazy, master of mayhem, savior of the... Surely you've heard of me?" The wolves looked at one another and shook their heads. "Are you one of the monkey people?" Puck frowned and turned back towards Shere Khan. "No, I am not one of the monkey people. I am the sworn protector of the Grimms, and you will not touch them or I will turn the hose on you." Shere Khan roared so powerfully Puck's hair was blown into an even bigger mess than usual. "We're in the Jungle Book," Daphne said to Puck. "They think Sabrina's Mowgli and I'm a wolf." "Whoever you are messing with the story," Shere Khan bellowed. A strand of saliva leaked out the creature's mouth and dribbled to the ground. "The editor will not tolerate it, and I have no intention of being revised." "What are you going to do about it?" Puck taunted. "Go ahead, raise your paw to me. I need a new rug." The tiger leaped forward with every talon extended, slashed at the boy fairy who barely had enough time to pull his wooden sword from his pants and block the mighty blow. Puck swung back, but his tiny weapon was deflected by a vicious swat. The sword flew out of his hand, landed in some grass. Shere Khan's razor-sharp claws caught the side of Puck's hoodie and slashed it to ribbons. Puck yelped at his wings extended, and he flew into the air. "Puck!" Sabrina cried. As he hovered above the tiger, Puck looked slightly rattled, and he gestured for the girls to stay. "It's okay. I shouldn't have underestimated him. He may not be real, but his claws are." "Come down here, mosquito, so I can finish the job," Shere Khan said. Puck swooped down, snatched his sword from the grass, flew directly over the tiger, swung his weapon right into Shere Khan's spine. The huge cat groaned in agony and fell to the ground. "If I were you, I'd slink back to your owner," Puck said. "Perhaps you'll get a bowl of milk." Shere Khan lumbered to his feet. His bright orange hide glowed in the firelight, and his eyes smoldered like hot coals. He glared at Puck, and in one sudden movement leaped towards a tree and used to launch himself at the enemy. Puck kicked him in the face, but not before the creature slashed at his chest. The deadly claws had only missed his skin by a fraction of an inch. Puck's hoodie would never be the same. Sabrina was shaken. Like Puck, she too had assumed that they couldn't be hurt in stories. They weren't actually the people they were pretending to be. They were more like actors playing parts in stories. She would never have suspected that they could ever be attacked. She had once been a school production of Stone Soup. In the 2nd grade, none of the Pilgrims had attacked her. The risk of injury or death added another worry to her concerns. Puck lunged at the beast again, but it smacked him backward with a well-timed punch. He fell from the sky, rolled into Sabrina, knocking the torch out of her grasp. It fell onto a flat, smooth rock and rolled onto an outcrop of tall grass nearby. A moment later, the wild flora burst into hungry flames that threatened to spread everything around it. "What have you done?" the Black Panther cried. "What have I done? The tiger's the one causing all the problems." An old wolf stepped forward. "Flee, brothers! The red